Hi, I'm Anne. My story begins in 2010 when I had major surgery that went very wrong. And in the next 10 years, I went down many alleyways trying to heal myself, trying to get myself better, trying, and not succeeding. So 5 years after my surgery, I had developed autoimmune disease, so autoimmune thyroid. I'd been diagnosed with MS. Because I'd been bedridden for so long, my bones had become brittle and they'd started to bow, and I'd lost 9 centimetres in height. I exacerbated a hiatus hernia that was burbling away, not really giving me trouble, but it was now starting to give me trouble. It got so bad that I required surgery, but I was deemed not well enough to survive. So it was, what can we do with you? While we thought about this, the hernia created lesions in my esophagus, which caused pernicious anemia, microcytic anemia, iron deficiency. I required blood transfusions. I required iron infusions, medication, supplements, but none of it was working. It wasn't improving. I was actually getting worse. On top of that, I developed fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. Oh, there's a litany. I honestly don't remember anymore what I suffered through at the time, but I think the biggest thing that got me was my ability to walk was just getting more and more difficult. What I could once do was almost impossible because I was out of breath and I was in pain. So mobility scooter, walking cane, that's who I was. That's who I was becoming. My pain levels were always on the rise to the point where I would just pray to be numb. And then in 2020, there was an opportunity for her one and only live workshop to attend for me, which I did. It was a Heal Thyself workshop, which was learn to tune into your body. And I thought, this is what I need. This is it. This is the one. Not realizing that it really was the one. On the second day in the afternoon, we did this process called an ancestral memory process. And I had my aha moment in that process. All the pain in my body left. Now, bear in mind, I rocked up to this workshop with a mobility scooter that I couldn't use because of the constraints of construction and car park ratio to building. So I had to walk from the car park to the front door, which wasn't particularly far. It was probably a couple of 100 metres. But I was soaked in sweat because it was such an effort for me. And that was day one. And I thought, how am I going to make it to day two? Started day two utterly exhausted. But when I was in the middle of this process, which Inna had said, just try. Try standing up for as much of it as you possibly can. And at one point, it's like, now I need you to walk around the room. And I started walking. I wasn't shuffling. I was walking like a normal human being. And I had no pain. It occurred to me suddenly I had no pain. And this was my aha moment. I thought, this is the work for me. This is what's going to help me from this moment onwards. And I was so eternally grateful. And Inna saying, well, if you want to do this work consistently, persistently, consciously, on a daily basis, I can change your life. Now, I'm pretty skeptical when somebody says to me, I can change your life. But in this case, 100% accurate. She did change my life. She gave me the tools. She gave me the processes. And I'm still in the process of gaining more tools and learning more as I go each day, every day. I've attended Awaken the Healer levels 1 and 2. I've done the Inner Child workshops. I'm so looking forward to doing ancestry archetypes and healing. They are game changers. That takes healing your body to the next level. And it really does take you to the next level. When I look back on that person who walked into that workshop in 2020, I barely recognize her. I can't list my symptoms like I could back then. That was my focus. These days, my hiatus hernia is back to a 2, no surgery required. My knees are getting stronger. My legs are straightening. They're not completely straight, but they're not as bowed. I've gained 5 centimetres back in height. There is no sign of MS in my body, and there is no autoimmune thyroid. It's now considered a nutritional deficiency disorder. So that I'm currently working on. And I've changed my life. And you can too if you do this work consistently on a daily basis. Take the opportunity, take the chance, and give yourself the gift. It's life-changing.